Hey friends, it has been a hot minute since I have been on here. Between travel and everything else that's been going on, it has been a little crazy. So we had prom, I think is where I left you off with. So my older daughter had prom. Then a couple days later, my air conditioning went out on my van. If you'll remember, I had just put on new tires last month because I got a nail in one of mine and it was not in a repairable place. And then my oil filter housing was also broken. So that was, and we had inspections for the vehicles because registration renewal is this month. So lots going on there. By the time we figured out what was going on with the air conditioning, we were not able to get the part in before I left for Illinois to drive over and celebrate my grandfather's 97th birthday party. I will throw some photos up of him and some of our celebrations. I just lost the name of the restaurant. It is a barbecue place, and apparently it's a chain. I was not familiar. I thought it was just a local thing. Mission Barbecue is all about celebrating veterans, and they were having a whole bunch of veterans promotions the week that I was there. Grandpa got a free sandwich for his birthday. He also got a free sandwich for being in the Air Force. Then when we were talking with him and about his birthday, the Saturday that his birthday was on was another celebration for veterans. They were having color guard and somebody sang the national anthem. Usually at noon, it's just a recording, but they were going to have somebody live. They also asked about putting his photo on their wall. So Mom got a old photo of him in his World War II uniform, and he is now on their wall as well. So lots of festivities and celebrations while I was, and we drove there with no AC. We drove home with no AC. The part came in yesterday, and my husband was able to put the part on. Thankfully, he is very mechanically inclined, being an engineer, growing up on a farm, working on farm equipment. And so we were able to save about $2,000 by him doing the work, and it seems to be working. We will see how it goes when we head off to dance later tonight. I am currently on lunch. Today is Wednesday, the 21st. But I wanted to go through some of the things that I bought while I was in Illinois. My hometown's JoAnn's store, this is the JoAnn's I grew up in, had so much yarn. I really should have videotaped and had a couple of photos of their aisles and aisles of yarn, but there was a bunch of people there and I felt really awkward. So I have pictures of my cart that I will throw up on the screen. And I also got a 20-pound box of stuffing of polyfill for $27. No lie. If I had had more room, my husband's like, you should have just filled the car with polyfill and then brought it back here and you could have doubled your money on the spot. But I did not have more room. As it was, we were seriously pushing the storage for what we had, what my mom wanted us to bring back for her trip coming out here in a couple of weeks, all that stuff. So, but I have lots and lots of yarn. Mom had been buying me some yarn as she went intermittently to JoAnn's to check out on the sales. So some of the stuff was pre-purchased by her. Some of the stuff was then purchased by me. It was almost 80% off by the time the extra discounts for quantity and stuff like that were applied. I also got some yarn at Ollie's. They had some different colorways there, and a colorway that I had previously passed up, I ended up buying a couple of. So I have bags and bags of yarn to go through. And then, so I have a show this Saturday. I cannot pronounce the town name, Fuquevarna. I swear it sounds like swear words. But I have a fundraiser there for a rescue, and I'm hoping that's a really good show. I have not been crocheting because of all the travel and everything else going on. I've had some clients reach back out for my health coaching business, so I've been having some of those sessions as well. Between my diabetes education and my health coaching, it's been quite busy lately. But I have inventory galore, and I'm not at all worried about inventory for my show. Although I have had a number of requests for black loaf cats, and the black Bernat yarn that I had on hand was very rough and hard on my hands. So those are sitting right here. I was able to pick up I think I've got 3 skeins of the Bernat blanket in black. So I will whip up a couple loaf cats probably tomorrow. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, after my doctorate appointment. It's time for more lab work for all of my autoimmune issues and everything else going on. So fingers crossed, my thyroid antibodies are down and my Hashimoto's isn't quite as bad as it was before, but we shall see. So we've got 3 skeins. All right, there's 2. I don't know where number 3 went. We've got 3 skeins of black Bernat. We've got, this is Bernat blanket perfect phasing. This is like a gray to coal color. This is deep black is what they call it. I just really like that. I'm a big fan of this perfect phasing. So most of these, if I could, I got at least 2, because I'm always afraid that if I start one, I'm not going to be able to finish it with that colorway. So I'm not, oh, here's my 3rd of my black Bernat. So I only see 1 of these at this moment, to be determined. This was, must have been a JoAnn's. This was an Ollie's purchase. I had previously passed up this colorway at my local Ollie's. It just wasn't striking me. But then I got to thinking of like sunflowers and stuff. The only thing is I'm not a fan of this little medium tone there as it changes colors. So I went through to find ones that had the least amount of that in between. If it were green, it would make me think of that military poop green. I can't remember the actual name for it, but I'm not a fan. So found ones that had the least amount of that in it. Then, this is another Ollie's because I've got the orange tag. This is another ombre. It's not the perfect phasing, but another ombre here, cake. This one is, so the yellows, oranges, is Orange Crush. Another word I can't pronounce. So this green is an ocean teal ombre. So super fun there. And so, like I said, I've got 2 of those. This is still in its plastic. It's a 2-pack here. This is a JoAnn purchase. This, if I can, so this is Baby Blanket Dappled. And the color for this is Misty Jungle Green. I really like those colors there as well. And then another JoAnn. This is another Baby Blanket Dappled. This is Aquamarine. I just really like it. Aquamarine is my birthstone. It is just super pretty. And so I'm not exactly sure what the dappled versus the ombre is, but I do really like this. And I really have no idea what I'm going to do with all of these colors. I don't necessarily have anything in mind yet, but it's just, this is what was available, and I bought it all. This is Big Twist in black. Then there's Big Twist in lemon meringue. So these are Posh, Big Twist Posh. We've got Posh and mint chip. And we've got croissant Posh. That is that bag. Then, so they packaged most of my stuff up in garbage bags because they don't have any bags big enough anymore for big yarn hauls. So I got some tweeds. I have not yet purchased tweed. I see a lot of people working with it all the time, and so there was a couple colors that I liked. I think this will be great for like fall pumpkins, so I'm looking forward to that. This is called Sandy Tweed. So we've got the two of those. We've got a couple Posh in the brown butter. Then we've got a couple Posh in frozen grape. I feel like I haven't looked at my inventory sheet yet. Even though it's Wednesday, it has been crazy. We came back Sunday night, and by the time you get back, you're just like dead after driving for 14 hours. And we had no air conditioning, so it was freaking hot. So then I worked Monday, I worked Tuesday, I'm working Wednesday, and I have 10 more minutes of my lunch break. And so I have not looked at my inventory sheets. This is the first time I'm opening my yarn since purchasing it. But I feel like I'd only gotten like 1 or 2 of these frozen grapes, not quite knowing how nice of a purple it was as I ordered online. So now I've got a couple more of those. Then here's some more lemon meringue. 2 of those. And let's see. Here we've got Bernat Blanket Brights. This color is royal blue. So again, I don't necessarily have anything earmarked for these things, but royal blue is like my favorite color, in addition to the kind of this teal color. So I just had to get it. And then we've got Bernat in crimson. I think I did say something about what I could do with that color, but I don't remember now. Then there's a second crimson. So going into, ooh, they tied this one really tight, or I carried it that way and tightened up. Let's see if I can get this open. All right, it's open. Saved you all that crinkling. So here is another tweed. This one is ivory tweed. So it's kind of ivory and maybe a royal is what's peeking out of there. So there's that one. We've got another bright. This is carrot orange. The kids were trying to convince me that I might make carrots for rabbits. I question that. Maybe a pumpkin. We will see. Here is another dappled. This one is Wandering Blue. So very pretty with that. Maybe it's more of a speckly than some of the ombre. Yeah, I don't know. So then we've got some baby blanket frosting. This one is Seaside. It's got some greens and blues in there. Got a couple of those. Here we have Bernat blanket in Celestial Blue. So this is kind of blues and grays. Again, very pretty. Another Celestial Blue. This is baby blankets in Bubbly Blue. So this is very much a baby blue color. And then baby blanket in Seafoam. So definitely like that as well. Who else is down here? Oh, so I got a number of these Simply Soft Karen ones, thinking that if I have some time to try to learn to knit, these would be some pretty colors for a knitting project. So these are the colors that I got. These are all the Karen Simply Soft for those, because they were like less than $2 each, I think. All right, so last bag here. So more of the aquamarine. I just really like these. So I think I ended up with 3, maybe 4 of these aquamarines. It looks like this is my other black as well. And then the other dappled Where's our color? Wandering Blue. So these are my seconds for some of those colors that I had already shown. So I think we are caught up. I now have 6 minutes left before my next patient appointment. And that catches you up for now, I believe. We had also bought some zippers and some like clasps like you would have on a belt bag, those buckles. We bought a number of those as well. They weren't quite so the boxes were labeled, and that must have already been the discount price. I thought that was the full price, and then I had to take the 60% off plus the extra 20%, but apparently that wasn't the case. So the buckles and zippers ended up being a lot more than what I kind of intended for them to be. I did get one more size 4 hook in the purple. What brand is that? I can't even think. Where's my hook? I don't know. My brain is dead. The hooks that I use are linked in the description under my tools in that Word doc for the Amazon links. And so I got one more purple hook because I use that quite a bit. I would have bought a 5 too had they had another one of those, but they did not. Lots and lots of wood-handled Susan Bates hooks, but I'm just not into those. So I got the Clover. I got the size 4 Clover hook because both my daughter and I use that a lot. So that's up on the shelf as a backup. Now I have to find homes for all this yarn. Pretty much my craft room is full. Yarn has already spilled into the hallway. I'm gonna have to figure something out here. My husband's been trying to brainstorm with me, and I don't know. I need an extension to the house. I need a she shed. So I think that's it. Give a like and a follow, and the next video will probably be about the event this weekend. I also will be planning on doing a live stream, a live sale on Palmstreet on Monday, Memorial Day, for their Memorial Day special. They are giving an extra 10% off, up to $20 coupons. So definitely check that out. Anything that gets purchased on Monday, I will ship out right away on Tuesday. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Palmstreet or in my next video. Leave a comment below if you've gone a little crazy with your yarn purchases as well. With everything that's going on in the economy, I'm super worried about yarn prices, and I'm trying my best to guard against inflation for this year as best as I can. I do not want to have to raise prices if I don't have to. So hopefully by being a little crazy this spring, I can protect myself for my fall and winter events. So y'all take care, and I will catch you on the next one.